Ladies and gentlemen, Tactical Advance here. Welcome back to some more Star Citizen. Now today, I'm going to be taking a look at one of the first variants of the Freelancer series. Now, when I found out about this and I heard that we were going to see the variances, the first thing, I wasn't actually initially that excited about it because I thought, the variances, if I go back and look at the Hornet series, other than the two-seater, the variance was only really around how the actual ship was configured itself by the modules. So I was sort of expecting the same thing with the Freelancer series, to be fair, and no, I was wrong. We're basically getting different variances. It sort of does hold a little bit of a question over the Hornet series and the other series then, if that's, you know, why do a variance on one and not on the other, if you know what I mean, a total ship reconfiguration. But you know, it's fantastic, guys, because what we've ended up getting is pretty much new ships other than the cockpits. Okay, so the variants we've actually got so far, we've got the standard Freelancer. Now that's sort of turned into sort of like a multi-role ship, and then you've got the exploration, the transport, and then you can call it sort of the military sort of class ship. Now each one of them has its own sort of perks. We could go through the weapon configuration and shields, but what I'm going to do today is we're going to take a look at the DUR or DUR Freelancer, and then I'll talk about actually why is this actually different from the other ships. Now this is the exploration model. We've got there's three new ones in total. We've got the DUR, the MAX, and the MIS. The DUR being the exploration, the MAX being the transport, and finally the MIS being the military ship. So let's take a look around first of all. So now the first thing I noticed when I actually looked at this, out of the Freelancer series, there's only two of them that have these funny balls on the front. And that is the MIS series and the DUR series. The Freelancer and the Freelancer Max don't have them. So there is some structural changes there. Now this is being the exploration ship. It comes with a couple of extra things that the other ships obviously don't have. And that is, they've got E7 long-range sensors, and also they've got expanded fuel tanks. Now you can actually see them up the top there. You can see these little rods coming out. I initially thought there were, before I sort of read all the stats and everything, I thought there might have been like a fueling arm or something, but that is the sensors, whatever that does. We'll have to wait until obviously when the game goes live. But obviously, if you're doing exploration, it's probably going to give you a better range on your scanning capability, which obviously sort of makes sense, really. Now, the other thing, obviously, you get extra on here as well is the fuel tanks, which are just down here. You can see the extra fuel tanks. Now, Star Citizen did say quite a while ago that there could still be a possibility for other ships, like maybe the Hornets or the other series, to have drop tanks, just in the same way a normal sort of fighter plane has. They do very similar sort of thing. Will we better put drop tanks on the other freelance variants? Not 100% certain. The fact that they've come out with the variants and they've specified this is, you know, the exploration with the drop tanks, or they probably don't drop off on these ones. I don't think they do. I think no reason for them to drop off really on these ones, is there? No, they're going to be fixed, aren't they? So, from an exploration point of view, this is going to be absolutely fantastic. First of all, it's the first one we've actually seen with extended fuel tanks, so that's always a bonus when you're doing exploration. It's the first one we've seen with the long-range sensors, other than, we could say, the Hornet tracker. And secondly, it looks absolutely amazing, guys. I think the rendering just seems to look better than the Freelancer. And anyone's got a Freelancer or might have bought one of these new ships, they seem to be, the rendering looks slightly different. The lighting reflection, the material, it just looks slightly better. Now it comes sort of stock with the obvious things that you normally get on the Freelancer. The awesome side guns that can do ball turret, were pretty much they can't 360 degrees, obviously, because they're going to have that arm in the way, but they can go in every other angle you could think of, even to vertical. And what I'm going to do later as well are maybe at the end of the video, what I'll do is just sort of the introduction to that series. I'll upload and attach the introduction video for the new variants, basically, and it's actually quite interesting. But I think there's another. Actually, I might do that in a separate video, guys, because there's some content I want to talk about inside that video. But if you haven't seen it, pop over to the RSI site, and then you can sort of see these guns in action as well. Now, moving around this side, it's got a missile loadout. Obviously, it's got obviously them guns are on both sides, so pretty powerful. And then moving around this side, you can see them tanks again. I'm assuming. I wonder if them. Looks like it might have double tanks, guys. Is that more tanks on the top there? Does look like it, doesn't it? Let's have a quick look out and see what it says here. So it just says, basically, Nav E7 expanded fuel tank. So maybe that's... one's the tank then? There's two there, aren't there? There's definitely two tanks there, because that thing's not a thruster. Because we know where the thrusters are. So... yeah, well, that looks like a monstrous amount of fuel, if that is the case. Which I think it is, guys. Probably looks like a... can't see what else that other pod could be at the top. Moving around to the back anyway. Engines look absolutely fantastic. They look like a drill, actually, don't they? They look like a... have you ever had a tap and die set? You know, if you mess up a hole when you're doing some metal work and you use a tap and die. It's very similar like that. I like the fidelity and the detail they've got in that. It looks absolutely fantastic as well. And then moving round... same side, obviously. Round to the other side. Now, going inside, let's go and have a look. Let's just find... actually, we can go in two ways. We're going for the rear door to start with. Now, one thing I would like to see... I really like, on the Cutlass, the addition of the buttons. I'm not saying that... in some ways, I don't really want to replicate the same button on the ship, but... you know, it's not very obvious where you've got to press, is it? Just at the side of the ship, really, and you think, well, how am I open the door? Unless it's just you've got some sort of sensor or something. So moving into the rear. Shut the doors up. Nice animations on the doors. Lighting looks fantastic. Got the rams for the door here, on the side. Obviously this is some sort of hydraulic system. It runs through the whole section. I had a look at this earlier. Runs all the way down here. Around here. Did wonder what that was, but it looks like that's probably connecting that side of the hydraulics and cooling system. And these funny things that are floating around the place. Lighting looks fantastic in here. There's no... actually, standing in here, there's nothing that I would actually change. You know, it's absolutely fantastic. What I did notice is if you stand here a little bit, you can see there's about another 1.5 foot underneath the floor there. I don't know if that's could be used, or is that going to be... that's probably that outer shell. That's probably obviously why we're walking on this sort of gridding. Now moving forward into, which we can call it... I've seen a couple of these around. It says, do not stand here. I've tried it. Stand here. Wonder what my signs are. Why is that dangerous to stand there? Maybe it gets squashed when the cargo goes in. Possibility. Now, how much cargo does this actually hold? It's created a little bit of confusion for everyone. I mean, I understand why Star Citizens have done it, but they've changed the cargo, the measurements where it was in tonnage before. It's now in freight units, and the reason they've done that is because they've changed the cargo structure, the way the cargo's done, and it's done on actual units. So, not a major issue. This particular ship, as a exploration ship, is carrying around, I think it's 148 units. Yes, it is. It's 148. So it's not bad. Just to give you a comparison, 148 in the Freelancer series, actually second in line. I think, let me just quickly check this before I get this wrong. It looks like we have first place as for the sort of obviously the largest amount of cargo you're going to be carrying, which is 280 units, which is the max, which sort of makes sense obviously because it's the transportation. And then you're going to have the Freelancer, then the Freelancer DUR, and then the MISC. You know, it flows in logical sense. Let's move into here. Now in this section, you know, I quite like a sad person. I was in here for quite a while. You're probably thinking, oh, just standing in here. Yeah, I was just standing in here thinking, right, just sort of using your imagination, thinking, right, okay, you're doing exploration. This is an airlock chamber, isn't it? Clearly, it's obvious, isn't it? Because there's an airlock between the rear cargo hold and the crew compartment and you know, the flight area or the deck. And obviously when I looked up and then I thought, oh, okay, well that sort of makes sense. It's obviously some sort of docking door on the roof. I can't get on the roof to have a look, but that is clearly some sort of docking door. So a part of your exploration, you know, it could consist of you maybe pressing the button and the hatch opens and then you EVA out. Or you might even be carrying something in the back like, you know, not just a repair drone, but let's just say a salvage drone that you could maybe deploy from here. Or maybe even from the rear doors, actually, because you could still airlock it. This makes logical sense. Where, you know, the Constellation at the moment doesn't, but we know we're getting a revision, so can't wait for that, guys. Really looking forward to that. Fantastic. I mean, what can I say, guys? Yeah, we're in a little room. Paintwork looks fantastic. Another one of them, again, I was trying to work out... I know I did wonder what that is. It does look like either they've gone to the attention to detail of building a hatch, which they could have done. They could have gone, right, okay, let's just make this look a bit nicer and put a hatch there. Or does it actually do something? I don't know. This seems quite detailed to just be a floor object, but maybe that's the case. And that's why we like the game, I guess, because of the detail. Once again, I think we need buttons, because once you move into this section, it becomes more obvious why you need the buttons, because there is a knack to closing the door, standing around about there. I think if we had the buttons and we could aim towards something, it would save a lot of frustration, because this is the actual... I'll just show you now, so guys, you haven't seen it. This is the sort of... You could call it the front door, which is sort of, you know, nearing the front. It's actually the centre of the ship. And obviously, further on down the line, once the ships are fully configured and we get the full interaction with the ship, i.e. this other stuff might do stuff, God knows, have to wait and see. Once you're clicking on something maybe here, you know, you might end up exiting out the door. Can that happen in space? Can you open that door in space? Wouldn't be good, would it? Particularly if you didn't have the EVA on. So anyway, we got a couple of things here. See if I can jump up here. We have your wash area. Pretty simple, really. Looks pretty basic. And on the other side, you've got a shower cubicle. Can't open that. I tried to do it. Someone's maybe done it, but like I said, you tend to go out the door when you're trying to press things around this area. So you get a shower. Two stations here. I'm hoping these are going to be... I would like to use my imagination and think I would like these to be some sort of long-range scanning equipment or something like that. We'll have to wait and see how that turns out. And then moving up to this section, you've actually got 4 beds. You've got just like bunk beds, basically. You've got 2 up. No, 2 up? Yeah, you've got 2 up and 2 down. Yeah, that's right. There's a little button there as well. Look, let me see that. I'll climb up there. Okay, so you get a pillow, a few other little bits. It looks like you get some sort of... I don't know what that is, some sort of TV there. Maybe that's something you can, you know, use some camera monitoring while you're lying down or something. And then you've got 2 sort of... I don't even call these co-pilot seats, really, are they? Because obviously the co-pilot sits next to the pilot, but... These are sort of supporting seats, maybe. Not really sure what they're actually going to do in the end game, but we'll have to wait and see once again. And then moving into the cockpit area. So we'll jump in the seat now. Let's get in that one. Animations look fantastic. Like the sticks, they look pretty good. He's holding on to the flight controls. You can see once this is all laid out and once they implement all of the UI functionality and, you know, get these panels doing some crazy stuff, it's going to be absolutely awesome. Now, for viewing angle, it's pretty good actually, because you can look that direction. You've got that direction, and you also got, let's call it a sunroof. You've got a sunroof to look out of, so something's flying over your head as well. So, jump out. So, guys, first variant. I think it looks fantastic. I'm glad they've gone to the actual. I'm glad they've gone as far as... I'm stuck here now. I'm glad they've gone as far as making the exteriors actually different, because otherwise, actually, the first thing I thought was, oh my god, are they going to do... Imagine if they do like a 2-seater Constellation. That'd be awesome, guys. You know, I'm definitely up for that. It sort of becomes a bit of a collector's thing, really. Anyone who's a bit of a die-hard Star Citizen person, once you sort of like a sort of a brand of a ship, it's not necessarily sometimes what you're going to use it for. It's just you just want to collect them. It's like collectibles, you know. And the funny thing is, a lot of people say that actually, oh, you know, we've all heard this conversation. Oh, you're buying digital currency, it's not worth anything, it's not worth anything. Well, that's actually wrong, because we know we can sell them ships for real money. In fact, you can actually sell the ships when the game goes live for more money. So, you know, I don't think that's going to be an issue somehow. So nothing to worry about there anyway. But like I said, had a good look around the ship. Excited about that. It's the first one we've seen with these massive fuel tanks then. I mean, it must be double. 2 up, 2 down again. Too large on the top. But that does open up other questions like, can we have drop tanks, or can we fit tanks onto other ships? You know, I can't see why not. It's only a little placement underneath the wing, but we'll have to wait and see. And also you've got the gun. Actually, we didn't have a look at that, did we? Let's have a look. Let's open that again if I can find the button. Is it here somewhere? Can open for me. There we go. I didn't look up there, did I? I'm not sure how you get up there yet. Let's have a quick look. Ah, is that going to use that, or is that going to use something else? Using the door by the looks of it. Yeah, like I said, maybe there's a button somewhere else. Someone's probably going, oh, the button's next to you. It's on the wall. But yeah, pretty cool as well. You can see, I can't really see from the outside. Probably change my view a little bit. Maybe see if this helps. You can see the fantastic looking guns there. So you've got actually good. There's no. Is there a blind spot? Is there a spot on this ship where you're vulnerable? You could say you're probably going to be vulnerable from this sort of section underneath here, underneath that landing leg, the middle one, because then guns will rotate down full lock. But I mean, every ship's going to have its black spot, I suppose, and that's the way I see it. But for this ship, it's got good rotational guns that can protect itself from, you know, multiple angles. So anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to be doing once I get access to the rest of the ships. Also, and thanks to everyone who's been giving my logins to their own account so I can do these reviews, because now I don't think we're actually allowed to modify the files anymore, so doing these reviews is not as easy. But as I say, thanks for everyone who sent me the logins, very kind to you guys, and expect 2 more videos hopefully coming up soon on the other variants as well. Ladies and gentlemen, thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe. Bye now.